What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back, or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Might, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto oceans. If you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, with the emergence of proof-of-stake crypto projects, which many of them really are companies disguised as crypto projects, crypto has been overshadowed by tragedies that have damaged crypto's reputation. In the past, we've seen the epic crash of Terra Luna, and recently we've witnessed another dramatic rug pull with OM or Mantra, which is a quote-unquote security-first L1 blockchain for real-world assets. But like Terra Luna, Mantra is a proof-of-stake project. In simple terms, proof-of-stake may allow to scale a crypto, but is not backed with anything of value. On top of that, Mantra is a project that was not fairly launched. There were pre-allocations of this company's tokens, meaning Mantra, like with many of the proof-of-stake cryptos, the price can be manipulated.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Not the case with Kaspa, because Kaspa needs to be mined with electricity, just like Bitcoin, meaning Kaspa has real-world value. This is why proof-of-work crypto projects are essential for the progress of the entire crypto ocean, as these types of projects protect the integrity on which the crypto ocean was founded.
Let's talk about something no one in crypto really mentions: storage bloat. Most blockchains grow forever, which means if you want to run a full node, you're downloading everything, and that's hundreds of gigabytes. It slows syncing, bloats the network, and pushes people towards centralized solutions. But Kaspa flips that problem on its head. In high throughput systems, the more transactions you have, the more data you need to store. Nodes get heavier and new nodes take days to sync. Even Bitcoin takes a week if you're starting from scratch, and that's with pruning. Worse still, as more people prune, fewer truth nodes exist, which ironically makes the network less secure. So how do you scale without draining data? Well, Kaspa's answer is a mix of powerful innovations. Pruned block DAGs. Instead of keeping the full ledger forever, Kaspa only stores the last 3 days of block data. That's it. Everything older gets pruned, yet syncing stays secure. Then we have MLS protocol, logarithmic space mining, originally proposed in 2020. This lets you create tiny cryptographic proofs that are as hard to forge as the full chain. Kaspa adapted it for DAGs, so all nodes can verify the chain without holding terabytes of history. Next is cryptographic receipts. You can generate a proof that a transaction was accepted, and that proof is verifiable forever, even after the raw data has gone. And lastly, the harmonic mass formula. This is Kaspa's defense against dust attacks and state bloat. It punishes spam by making it quadruply more expensive to store junk, while keeping regular user experience smooth and unchanged. And all of this means that full nodes run under 200 gigabytes. Sync times are about 20 minutes, not a whole week. A throughput of 3,000 transactions per second sustainably, and no need for archive nodes, but they can still exist for explorers or receipts. And crucially, Kaspa does this without giving up decentralization. Every node can verify the truth. Every user keeps full security. And this is real scalability. No hype, no hope, just clever engineering that solves a massive problem the right way. Kaspa didn't fix storage, it made high throughput crypto actually sustainable.
Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Always remember to keep your crypto investments safe. Practicing self-custody is key, especially during this 2025 bull run. In my personal opinion, the Tangent wallet is your best option. Plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage. So if you wish to order your Tangent wallet today, you can get 10% off using code CryptoCrew. Check out the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all. Crypto Crew, the conversation about proof of work crypto projects was a point of discussion at the 2025 Web3 Festival in Hong Kong. This discussion included Kaspa's Wolfie answering the question what the panel sees is the next adoption zone in terms of parts of the world or segment of institution that would consider proof of work crypto as part of their crypto investment allocation. Once again, shout out to Cliff Choi for this recording.
President Trump made the statement that he wants to make America
America the mining aggregator of the world, cheapest power, most availability. And how does that happen? Well, when power is subsidized, it's better for everyone. Why? Because mining in DeFi is not usually thought about as a vector for improvement. In Ethiopia, at their recent hydropower farm that many nations are a part of, what's been one of the byproducts of the Ethiopian government providing some tax subsidies and power subsidies, and no more brownouts. Constant internet, modernization of data centers for regular provisions of internet, unbanked the unbankable. We always talk about renewable energy or responsible energy or green energy, but who's going to buy into that? I think manufacturers like Ice River and Analpha and Vivian are trying to provide, because of this, run on power and the need for proof of work, to provide a more affordable miners.
There's time left for last question. What do you see is the next adoption zone in terms of geography or a segment of institutions that would take up proof of work as a part of their important allocation strategically or financially?
We're seeing some stuff that's going on in Bhutan, who's been, mining Bitcoin for a long time. They're adding, a spectrum of coins to their sovereign wealth program. They're creating a special economic sovereign state to drive, technology innovation and certainly bring more of our type of business to the country. Business people, investors respond to incentives. That's really what all this is about. That's the art of proof of work, is aligning incentives and delivering value in a way that incentivizes people to participate. And then we're seeing some of that, come through there. India was very resistant on any main concept of proliferation of digital assets, but now India and Nepal, they're on a joint hydroelectric power project and working on large-scale data and mining facilities. But now we have, two major exchanges entering into that area, that APAC subdivision area. And I think beyond Africa and that part of APAC in India, we're going to come back to America. Again, going back to what Donald Trump said, they're going to subsidize power, and, nuclear power, hydropower, and gas turbine power is coming back online. We have fracking, etc. So many different resources. So
part one for me is the United States, as mentioned, with the new president, being anything, associated with Bitcoin or mining or using energy in general is no longer being a bad guy. So I like that. The United States Department of Defense uses 5 billion gallons of fuel a year for securing the country. So securing a network with a little bit, of electric doesn't sound that bad to me. There's an interesting group of guys that popped up, mostly from Europe and a little bit from Middle East, North Africa. It's called Kaspa Industrial Initiative. And these guys have a very strong background in energy production. So they have this hurdle, which is this big roadblock that makes it a real pain for the grid, the electric grids of different countries and different regions to be interconnected. So sometimes they'll make extra energy and they'll offload it to the neighbors, right? Because those guys will need a little more, and then sometimes they'll need to get some back. And they settle it now with cash, so they have to go between different currencies, and they have to only do it in banking hours, and they have to do wire transfers and crazy accounting. So they look for a way to do it with digital, with a token. So they're creating a token called Gigawatt. It's going to be a stable coin. It's going to be on Kaspa. And the neat thing is that they can settle every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day. And they have their own energy, and they can get their own ASICs. So now, instead of only running the miners to get the rewarded coins, you can just think of them as like a business server. If you think, how many servers does Bank of America have turned on 24 hours a day to do their business? Well, now you can have ASICs turned on just to do your share to keep the network you rely on going. And also the censorship resistance was something I left out about proof of work, but it's very important to large entities and industries, and when they're moving tokens like this in the hopefully near future, they need to, if there's sanctions or something, those guys I don't think really care about that too much. They just need to be able to transact smoothly and promptly. So the censorship resistance feature of proof of work overall that's on Kaspa also was very interesting for them.
I think that's another really important point, because AWS and Azure have this agreement with Broadcom that gives broad access to any cloud or pooling data to any three-letter agency in the world. So I think it's really important that compromise is derived from, from the original Zen and Broadcom agreement on shared data. So that's amazing, man. That's the point I've seen about. Yeah, that's great.
Crypto Crew Proof of Work crypto projects are essential for the growth of crypto as a whole. This is one of the reasons why I personally went heavy on Kaspa, because of its fair launch, its intrinsic value, and the ability to offer solution to real-world issues in diverse industries. And with Kaspa's tech solving the trilemma, having Bitcoin security and decentralization, but with the ability to scale, in other words, fast, like a Bitcoin on internet speed per se, I believe Kaspa is setting the trend for new emerging crypto projects to go back to the original consensus the early crypto projects were founded on. More projects such as Bitcoin and Kaspa add true value to the world, making not just an investment, but also a true digital asset, thus elevating the entire crypto ocean. Not financial advice, of course, just my conviction I share with conviction. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.